What's going on, everybody? What's going on? We are back. We are back at it again with another Sunday market analysis video. Well, I'm talking about video. We are back at it again with another Sunday market analysis live. Another one in the books. I don't know about this call, but maybe on Thursdays. Give me like 2 minutes, y'all, that we can get started. Yeah. Bet it up. Hey man, it's gonna be a fire. I haven't even looked at the news for the week or nothing, and I'm already like, yeah, it's gonna be a fire week. I have no idea what's happening yet. Like I tell y'all every time we hop on this live, every week, this is the same time I'm looking at this chart. Is this the first time for this week I'm actually looking at the charts? Like I have not touched the charts at all. I have not looked at it over the weekend, no back testing or nothing. On Thursday in the academy, we actually did some back testing sessions for like the Thursday night Tokyo session live, which was pretty cool. Like I never did like an actual Tokyo session live. But Thursday that was pretty smooth. But for this week, actually I might run that back. I just gotta figure out how I want to do it. Start that in there for right now. Figure out how I want to do that for real, and we can get that cracking. Let me do one thing, y'all. It's gonna be so cool though. I'm excited for this week. I'm gonna tell y'all why I'm excited. Because the biggest thing is, one, markets blessed us last week, but usually every week I try to go into the market with the same way I always started. Because at the end of the day, last week can be an amazing week, and then this week can just be trash, right? But when I see opportunities on the charts, I get excited because like, all right, it's another opportunity I can go live with the academy students to make their money on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and it's another opportunity for me to not only run at the pot firms, run at the personal accounts, and just grow the portfolio even more than what I've already been doing over these years. Especially as I'm starting to pivot into other avenues that's actually going to be coming out soon in my. Is it gonna be the next video? Yeah, it should be in the next vlog. Y'all should be knowing what's coming. If you follow me on Instagram, y'all kind of already y'all saw me hint at something that's coming in 9 days. So stay tuned for that. So it's gonna be definitely moving different. Definitely coming like with a new new vibe, a new energy as far as what I want my personal brand to be, as far as the things I'm starting to invest into, being a part of through my network as the network started spanning and everything. I did this so backwards. Hold on. But like I said, I ain't gonna talk too much on it now. Y'all see it in the next vlog. For right now though, we are gonna get in the call though. I ain't gonna keep y'all waiting. Let's jump right into it. We should only be on probably like an hour. Shouldn't be nothing too crazy. All right, let's jump into it. So, as we can see, Monday, same regular thing we talked about last week. I'm paying attention. Where are my red folder news? What are my orange folder news? What is the overall news is getting ready to drop? So before we even worry about what the news is getting ready to drop, the biggest thing I want y'all to know is this week is NFP week. For those that don't know, NFP week is short for the non-farm payroll week. It is the week when the market is the most, I'm not gonna say most volatile, but it is a week where some people's strategies may or may not work. It's a week where it should be a lot of volatility in the markets, but it's also a week where you might not see the markets moving as much as you wanted to. You might catch one quality setup, and then the rest of the day it might not do what it need to do. That is what today is gonna. That's what this week is gonna be. But as we look at the charts, every single day for the most part is looking like 10 a.m. is gonna be the final news that's gonna be releasing. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, after 10 a.m., this is gonna be major news to look out for. Consumer confidence. That's what I'm like, bro. Joe's job, like Tuesday, fire. ISM, manufacturing PMI prices, fire. Unemployment claims ain't as hype as it used to be, but still fire because it's gonna happen at 8:30. Cool. Market gonna react around 9:30. It's gonna open the bell, and we're gonna be able to trade it there as well. Boom. Friday we have the official news, the unemployment rate, the ISM services PMI. It's so crazy though. Friday, I have learned to like love trading NFP. There's a lot of people that be like, "Oh, I'm scared of NFP. I don't like trading NFP," or like, "I don't want to risk my account." On NFP Friday. Good. Like if you know what you're doing, you should not be risking your account anyway. Because how I trade it, I can either trade before the news drops, so I can be in the charts around 6 in the morning, or I can let everything drop first. So after 10 a.m., then I'm looking to hop in the trades. I'm letting all the storm do its thing. I'm letting the markets run its course. Whatever happens in the beginning, I don't care about that. I'm just going to pay attention to market structures. I'm going to pay attention to the price, and we're just going to adjust and we're going to adapt based off of that on the charts. All right, so that's kind of like my overall thought process. I do know Friday's gonna be a big day, and then we have these Tuesday and Wednesday. Fire. I wouldn't be surprised if tomorrow's just chilling and marinating before it sets us up for the rest of the week. Right. But without further ado, let's kind of like come over here on the charts and just look at everything, just focus on like what are we seeing as we start to get into NFP. What is the big picture here that I want us to focus on US 30, on NAS 100. Germany 40 is my swing trade pair. I'm not gonna talk about it this week. Just I'm gonna focus on these two. Academy students, I probably do like another video because I owe y'all a video in the academy anyway. I'm gonna actually write that down right now, so I don't forget, right? Because I keep freaking forgetting that I wanted to record Germany 40 video. It's the same strategy that I use on the US 30 and NAS 100, except with Germany 40, the market structure is so clean over there that it's kind of like ridiculous. I mean, like it's very fire. But YouTube, I'm gonna just give y'all the main two pairs that everybody always trade, which is NQ or NAS 100 and US 30 or AKA YM. So starting off with US 30, we're gonna focus on main levels getting tapped. So as you see, last week we had beautiful sales. Friday, it did exactly as expected, like how I already knew, which was typically in the past moves that I would look for next week happens on Friday. So all week we was selling off. Friday, I this week, aka this week, I wanted to look for buys, but I knew Friday was gonna be the day to do it. And sure enough, we got our bull push. As we start to get into NFP, I want us to pay attention to where are our key levels. So yes, I can focus on this wick, but I'm not gonna pay attention to that right now. I just want us to pay attention to where is the high and where is the lows. And I always mark my areas based off of where the zone is at, right? So as I'm looking at this, I'm paying attention and I want to see what is US30 gonna do when it retests 46,459. And then of course, if it ends up breaking above the zone, we can mark this area too. The only reason why I don't care about this range right here is because this is an area where it was an obvious manipulation for the buys and then immediately closed back inside that zone again and took off for the sales. Retest with the price at 46,460, which is confirming that this area is going to be a key price level, and then continue to push for the downtrend. Right? So as we look at this on the charts, as we see, okay, this was a key price level. We saw on Friday, took off for the buys, sold off once it got near it, came full circle back to that area. Tonight, what I want to see on US30, I'm going to be paying attention to what happens when US30 comes back to this level. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, what the news is about to get ready to come out, I wouldn't be surprised if it does go for a retest here. But this area is going to be an area of interest where I will look for the rejection, and then I want to look for sales. And then I'll just take it back to this zone right here, or we can even talk about potentially look for swings down to this side. But I'll talk about that a little bit later. But for now, retest to 46,459, and then we look for sales. If it ends up going for more, so let's say like, oh, hey, since you think it's gonna retest, should I look for buys tonight? If it starts to close, we look for the higher time frame. Let me say this is not trading advice. This is just my own personal experience analysis of what I would think, what I would want to look for, my idea, which would be if it closes back above this structure right here, I would look to take buys back up into, I ain't gonna put it this side no more. I'm gonna put it like right here. Because now that we're on the lower time frame, we can see that this was a previous resistance structure that got hit and then it sold off right at this price zone. So that's gonna be an area that if I took buys tonight on US30 around here, I would look TP right at that high. Now, if it turns into a position that takes off and goes for long-term buys, and we find that we have a running position and it just goes, now we're talking about a trade that breaks above here. It smashed TP. It's funny I got this error right here. If it continues to push strongly and it retest here, I'm gonna delete this, and it fails to close below here, then we're gonna be interested in looking for the continuation back up into here. And that's something that could happen, but on the safer side, I'll always say I'll look for buys up here. If it's looking nice on the momentum, boom, TP, 800 pips. If it continues to push off, cool, that's 30, my fault. That is 3,400 pips that you can look to take on US30. And then once it comes up into this high, it's a no-brainer. I'm going to be looking for sales at this area. But it's also a no-brainer that everybody and their mama is going to be looking for sales at this area too. So I wouldn't be surprised if the market might pump and then hit the stop loss, then comes back inside the zone and take off for the sell. And then we start seeing pullbacks to form lower highs and then the continuations to the downtrend. And I just thought about this too. I should have started the video like this last week. Dang, it's really getting dark in here. Let me turn on my lights. Last week, right, on the charts, every scenario that I gave us, so the market might originally start off going for new highs, or let's say the market is selling off. Regardless, we're seeing lower highs form on the charts. Regardless, we're seeing our pairs like still play out with the exact scenario. So obviously, if you're not in my academy or if you're not in my chats or whatever, you won't know exactly like, oh, Abe is looking for a full retest structure to here, or he's looking for, oh, I see the market selling off now. So based off of like Sunday analysis, it's always just off of the current market data, the current market price. All right, I'm back. Let's turn this up a little bit more. Ooh, that's way better. It's freaking dark over here. I apologize. And I think I dropped my mouse. There we go. So yeah, as I was saying, yes, I might not be right? So I might think the market is going for the buys, and for all we know, US30 can just sell off. But the same rules apply, right? So either we're getting a full retest back to this resistance or this high up here, and we're gonna look for sales off of this stretcher, or it's gonna be the opposite, right? You're starting my sell tonight, and I'm not gonna be interested in taking sales. I'm gonna just wait to probably a London session or something to see what it does. But when you're looking at this, this is the opposite. So this would be area I look for buy. If it continues tonight push, this would be a nice buy to here. That's 800 pips. If it turns into a runner, that's 3,000 pips, right? Vice versa. If it sells off tomorrow, I might say, like, if we're trading in my Sniper Squad chat, I might be interested in a sell-off like right around here. And then my TP would be back to this low right here. Why? Because this is 1,200 pips. But also, I will be interested in seeing, is it going to go tap this low down here at 45,040, and then that turns into a trade that goes for 2,500 pips. For those that don't know, 2,500 pips is like, that's not no small feat to catch. Right? That's a lot of pips to catch on the charts. That's a lot. That's more than enough than what you actually need to make like serious money. If you're catching a full swing like 2,500 pips, that is fire. Now for my swing traders, if you know, you know. If you know, you know. That's all I'm gonna say. When we talk about entries down here, 1,200 pips, 2,000 pips, and so on and so on. Now, this will be the sell setup that I'll look for. Stop loss will most likely always be, if it breaks this stretcher, that means if it's already found its lower high or it's high. So my stop loss will down there be right around here at 46,331. Or if I'm catching momentum, maybe a little bit tighter. It just depends on the scenario on how the market is looking. Now, so overall, remember, either this will be a sell entry that we'll take back down to here, and then vice versa. If it fails to break, if it gives us a stretcher like this, we're gonna look for the same exact buy setup from Friday. We're gonna take buys back to the highs or back for another 1,200 pips on the charts, and then vice versa. So this is the sell, and then this will also be the area that you'll be interested in looking for buy opportunities at to take back to the highs up here, and then vice versa. If it does just break out and go for the buys, we take buys up into here, and then we start potentially looking for sell-offs if the sales happen on US30. So that's what I'm looking for on US30. Now on Nas, as you can see, Nas played out beautiful, respecting my 61 and my 78s. But on a 4-hour scale, like, it's already gave me a higher low, came back to a previous higher low stretcher. So for me personally this week, it's two things I really want to see. I would love to see a full retest back to the high here. I don't care how long it takes. By Friday, I would love to see a high up here. But I can also understand if Nas wants to respect this previous lower high stretcher right here. So two scenarios here, right? If Nas closes above this zone, we can expect full retest back to the previous lower high. I'm not saying it's gonna come all the way here yet, but the next previous lower high will be this stretcher right here. My voice just cracked. I'm sorry. So this will be my main next target. Ultimately, I would love to swing back to the top, but when we talk about where's the next lower high stretcher, I would look for the retest here. This will be the next resistance area in question. Technically, I can bring it down a little bit more because if I'm looking to the left, I see this is a resistance structure right here. This is the area that it retested and pulled back and took off. This is the area that it tried to break out of and came back and set back. So somewhere around here is letting me know that 624, 638 to 650 is the area that I should be looking to potentially take profit or just pay attention to see how the market is moving during this time. That's a calm 700 pips. And then if it runs, cool. That's a cool 1,100 pips on the pair. So this would be like the beautiful buy setup. Now, I'm on a 4-hour showing y'all this for a reason. So 4-hour, I don't care that my MA is crossed as of right now because we're going into a new week and it's NFP week, right? So we're going to go based off of just market structure. What do we see here on the charts? We have a high. We have our main resistance level. This is the highest point of the time. This is the area that's showing that we're still in a downtrend. Why is it showing that we're still in a downtrend? Because this is the high and this is a lower high. It failed to close higher than the previous zone stretcher, which is letting me know that the market was starting to reverse off of this stretcher right here. And then it did the same scenario right here, right? So here it broke the structure. It retested the zone. It failed to close higher than here. It didn't even give us a retest back to this structure. And then it immediately sold off, right? So now that we're back at this same area again, now we have an opportunity to see is this going to become like a double top right here and this becomes another lower high? And if it does, honestly, I can leave it on the 4 hour and just show y'all. If we get like a bearish engulfing candlestick right here, this is a sell entry that you guys want to look to take from here. And then you're going to want to take it back to wherever Friday's low was, which is down here. And that's 2,000 pips. Boom. That's fire. That was actually a fire breakdown I just did right there. So like this would be like the area. This would be my target, my main TP1 target. And then TP2 would essentially be a full retest back down to 2,600. So like that'd be like my two main areas of interest for this week when we look for sales. And then the stop loss on this would be like right above the zone. So like as you can see, 950 pips, that is a lot. If you're not comfortable with risking that much, obviously, like I said, this isn't trading advice. This is just my ideas. Adjust your stop loss according to your rules. But me personally, stop loss will always be above the previous lower high stretcher. And then on top of that, I will also add in, if you want to make it tighter, you can. So like this is the main lower high stretcher. Here's another mini lower high stretcher. As the stretchers start to form, you can slowly move your stop losses right above those previous stretchers as it starts to break and go for those sales. So looking at this, you would think it'd be like a no-brainer that the market is going for the sell-offs. Retest back to a lower high, give us a double top. This is like the A+ setup I'll look for either tonight during London or New York tomorrow. This is a perfect play. TP1, TP2, 1,200 or 2,500 pips on the charts. If it breaks the zone, so even still, remember how I said, like, even though I want this high to get tapped, look where we at. If it breaks this zone, it has to come up into the next level. So it's like a game, right? This is Friday, it came to the first boss level. We're going to find out if it's going to respect this boss or is it going to beat this boss. If it beats the boss, now it has to go to the second level, which is back to the next lower high. So on a 4 hour scale, it would make sense to have your TP here, right? All the way up here. But remember, on our 1 hour, it showed us that, okay, we're in a resistance area anyway. So I'm not mad TPing just a little bit more earlier before we get up into that area, because there's a chance that it might just reverse and sell off anyway, right? So first boss, if it break through, bet. This is the second boss level that we're going to go tap into. If it fails to break this boss level, the moment it closes under this zone, we look to take sales. So if it closes under this zone, sell entries will be like around here. And then our TP is going to be set to our previous boss level, because now we just got knocked down back to the previous level, the first level, right? So we're coming back to this zone. It's funny, I never actually taught my higher lows and higher high training like this before. But if it come back to this stretcher right here, if it come back to the previous level that we just beat, right, we're going to look to set our TP here, and it's going to be one or two things that's going to happen on this chart. It's either going to sell off, respect this zone, right, bounce off of this and then go for buys and then continue for new higher lows and just continue to tap this, or this sell entry is going to tank and it's just going to keep on selling. We might see like a pullback, a lower high forming, boom, and then there should be a continuation to the downside. Same scenario. And then the beauty about this, so the buys happen first. So like, remember how I was talking about this is a 4 hour sell-off? This could be your first entry. And then remember the second entry that I gave y'all, which would be based off of if it closes under this zone. So you got your first entry sniper right there that we look to take. And then you have a second entry that happens as well if it closes under this zone. And it's that simple. Like, I ain't even have to do too much. Like, fire. Fire. I like how I broke that down. I think for me this week, it's actually been a minute since I've been on the charts like every single day. I've been really on some day trading, scalping energy, scalping vibes. I kind of want to transition. I'm gonna study. I kind of want to transition. I'm gonna still do scalpers maybe, or like when I focus on Tokyo session, I definitely scalp during Tokyo. But like as we start to get into swing trades or like my main moves, I'm gonna start waiting for my main setups. Or I'm gonna wait till later on in the week for it to really present itself and show me exactly what I want to see. Right. So that's gonna be like the two biggest things that I'm gonna be looking for this week on the charts, especially for Nas. I love both setups. I love to a T, honestly. Both are fire. And usually I do trade Tokyo during Sunday night. So honestly, while I'm looking at this, I am favoring the sales. I want to see you show me your high, show me your resistance stretcher, and then I want to see that sell off of that first setup that I gave y'all. Y'all have to rewind the live back so I can give y'all, see I can get that entry down here. But if not, if it just continues to go, then like I said, you take buys off the break, retest, and then you lift the TP at the next high. That's fire. All right, so another live in the books. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. Literally every Sunday I'm gonna be doing this. As I start traveling and stuff though, the lives times might change or it might transition back to videos. But I do appreciate everybody that has been tuning in with me. And has been like just plugging in with the gems every single week. All I could do is ask that y'all like or let somebody know that, hey, look, Abe going live next Sunday. Make sure you there every Sunday that he's giving out some sauce. Every Sunday he's giving out some game. Y'all can go back. Like if you go back, if you're watching my video for the first time, or you're watching this live for the first time, if you go back to previous lives that I've done, every analysis that I gave out, every specific trade idea that I've sent out has smacked TP. Literally. The last 2-3 weeks of lives that I've done, every scenario, every strategy that I went over, and the pairs that we're looking at right now on US30 and now specifically, when I talk about market structure, when I talk about what I'm looking for, the lower highs is forming, every setup has played out exactly how I said it. And if you don't believe me, just go back and watch the video. So I'm gonna leave y'all with this. Academy students, this will be right on the site for y'all to rewatch. People that's just subscribed from YouTube, I appreciate y'all supports. Just leave a like, leave a comment if you have any questions, and don't feel afraid to reach out to me on Instagram. And then if you want to join the live, like I actually have live Academy sessions where I do live trading sessions on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So if you want access to that, enroll on the website down below in the bio, or in the description, and then you guys will get access to that as well. I think that's it. I think I hit everything. I'm ready for the week though. Very excited. It's looking like Nas setting up perfectly. US30, like if I had to really focus on one pair this week, it probably would be Nas, just off of how cleaner we can see these stretchers. Nas and Germany 40, but like I said, I'm not gonna talk to y'all about Germany 40 for real. I'm gonna say that for my students. But this fire. I hope y'all ready. All right, I'm done rambling. I'll catch y'all next week. And if you haven't, go watch the last vlog I just dropped. Peace out.